Welcome to my channel and welcome to this episode of Wood Chips and Black Steel. On this episode, we're going to repair the pistol grip on this Weatherby rifle stock. When he brought it in, the pistol grip had been broken off and the customer had put in a large wood screw, supposedly so that he could finish using the gun for the season. So in this episode, I'm going to take you through the steps as I glue that pistol grip back on and then try to make it disappear like it never happened. If there's an upside to this, the break is very clean and sharp. I'm pretty confident that with only a minor amount of work, we should be able to get this glued with little seams showing where the break occurred. Actually, the bigger challenge is the hole the customer drilled to put in the screw. We'll deal with that later in the video. When I fit the broken piece onto the gunstock, there's a misalignment that at first was confusing. But by looking closely at the wood, I can see that someone tried to glue the grip back onto the gunstock. That glue has left a residue that is preventing the two pieces of wood to mate up properly. So my first task is to remove that glue down to the original wood until the alignment is perfect. It was clear that this was going to be close, tedious work. Removing the glue had to be done using a magnifying glass and dental picks. It was necessary to remove all the glue possible, preventing the two pieces from mating up closely. Some of the glue is very stubborn, so careful experiments allowed that the use of acetone would soften the glue enough to make picking it out of the grain much easier. We also discovered some type of rubber-like substance that had been used to fill in the crack left after the repair. That came out much easier. And then this. At first we thought it was a small knot or defect in the wood until we tried to cut it away with a chisel and discovered instead that it was a broken drill. The drill, protruding as it was, prevented the small wood piece from moving freely for alignment. We had to remove the drill. To reduce as much of the visible gap as possible, I needed to fit the broken piece to the main stock as precisely as reasonable. The broken piece became my boss datum. I colored it with white chalk and then pushed it into the main stock so that it left behind marks everywhere there was interference. Then, using an 1/8 inch deburring tool, I hit every one of the high spots, trying to avoid removing material at the edges. We repeated this process as many times as necessary until the fit was tight and the gaps were as small as possible. I used epoxy instead of glue because epoxy has much better fill properties. Mixing the parts together, I added powdered pigment to blend a color that, when dry, would be close to the existing grain color of the wood. With the epoxy applied, we position the grip into place. After wiping away the excess with denatured alcohol, I used duct tape and clamps to secure the broken piece back onto the stock. We then let it cure for 24 hours. So with the grip attached, the check ring all repointed, and all the prep work done for applying the finish. But before I do that, there's one more thing that I have to take care of, and that's to fix the hole that the original owner put in the stock when he put in that screw. I'm a little concerned that right now I'm relying completely on the strength of that epoxy to keep that grip in place. And if there's any side loading at any time in the future, I'm not sure that epoxy is going to stand up to any kind of impact or any kind of stressful application of forces to it. So I'm actually going to add a screw, and that screw is going to keep the grip in compression and help to protect it from any kind of a side load. But I have to hide the screw. How am I going to hide the screw? Well, I'm going to go in and remove this original diamond that was part of the original design of the gunstock and get down underneath there and put that screw in. It'll be a stainless steel screw. And then I'm going to have to recreate that diamond and put this applique into the grip so that I can hide the screw underneath. So let's get that original diamond pulled out, and then we'll put the screw in, and I'll show you how I put in the new diamond. The first thing to do is drill and countersink the wood for the screw. Finishing that, we'll find a piece of figured walnut to build the diamond. And then finally mix up some epoxy the color of the ebony grip, and then reinstall the diamond. With the epoxy dried, I need to remove the excess wood and final shape the new diamond to the grip. Completing that, I'll add new finish to the repair, paint out and blend any sign of the break to the surrounding wood, and then at the end, do the reveal. I knew that I couldn't completely eliminate the glue line. So if you remember back to the beginning of the video, I colored the epoxy to match the color of the grain lines in the wood. The human eye can pick out sharp lines, so the goal in this technique is to simply use color to soften that line and to make it look more natural as a grain line under the final finish. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring that bell so you get notified the next time I post a video. Thanks for watching.